And we are set, ready for action to start the 2016 Ohio Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championship. Tip is up and controlled by the Racers.
I think we're going to see a lot of pressure. We are seeing UT Martin setting back in the zone, but again, they have forced Murray State to a lot of turnovers in their two earlier games this season.
Quick shot up on the way and good from Leasia Wright, and we expect a lot of three-point looks from both of these teams in this ball game.
Both teams in their last contest on February 27th took 40 three-point attempts. That's unreal, Justin. So you're right. We're going to see a lot of attempts. It's who can knock them down.
Here's another three-point attempt. This one from Katie Schubert won't miss, but the offensive board brought down by Jessie Ward. Murray State in the man-to-man defense against the OVC regular season champions, the UT Martin Skyhawks. There's a traveling violation against Chelsea Roberts. Roberts, a 5'11 senior from St. Peter, South Australia. And now UT Martin full court pressure being applied. Going to get a double dribble, and immediately the turnover rearing its head for Murray State on that first full possession there with the full backcourt.
We talked a lot about turnovers coming into this game. Both teams turning the ball over a little bit more than they want, but that's important, especially in tournament time. If you turn the basketball over, it's hard to win games.
Strong drive that time by Imani Robertson, the 5'8 freshman from Memphis, Tennessee, and UT Martin gets on the board. Here's a quick three in transition, and 2 for 2 are the Murray State Racers as Jasmine Borders knocks that one down.
UT Martin cannot run to the paint. When they get back on defense, they've got to match up outside and get those wings, because as we've seen, Murray State, they're getting out wide, getting their feet set, and they've knocked them down.
Missed three on the other end, and the Racers clear the boards. So good start for the number 8 seed trying to pull the big upset over UT Martin. Can it be 3 for 3 to start the game? No, and now we're going to get a foul on the rebound. We'll see. I think it's going to go against UT Martin. It will, and it'll go against Haley Howard, the 6-foot senior.
Howard a little bit confused about that one. Looked like she thought she had her boxed out and maybe came over her back.
Wright gets the ball in. UT Martin in a 2-3 zone. Here's a deep three, back of the iron, no good. But nice job fighting for the rebound. Put back is good by Keyshannon James. And James, who was shut out 4 days ago by UT Martin, gets on the board. Pick the pocket from behind, and here come the Racers.
Well, that's what you have to do. Whenever you've got a team that's going to shoot the basketball like they do outside the three-point line, you've got to have rebounders, unless you knock them down.
And Keyshannon James just knocked down another three. Murray State on fire to start this ball game from behind the arc, 3 of 5, and they lead it 11-2.
And I like this energy that Murray State's bringing. It's almost what we expected. Hey, you get beat 4 days ago. You've got beat twice in the season against this team. They're coming out with nothing to lose.
And on the flip side, UT Martin 0 of 3 to start the ball game from behind the three-point line. They lead the conference coming into this game, three-point field goal percentage. Just under 40% on the year as a team. Just incredible numbers shooting the three-point ball has been UT Martin. 5 on the shot clock, deep three, rattles out. That time for Abria Gullich. Quickly, though, in transition on the other end. Nice move by Imani Robertson. And the 4 points so far for Murray State have come in the paint. Ball turned over, though, on the bad outlet pass. So now an opportunity for UT Martin.
Roberts really recognizing they're giving her that left side. She's giving them a ball fake, getting to the rim. Murray has to have some people step over and cut her off.
James will run the point now for the Racers, who will try to slow things down. We've had a fast and furious first 4.5 minutes of this ball game. Gullidge with 3 on the shot clock, back of the iron. UT Martin with the rebound.
You can tell UT Martin really wanted to push the ball in transition, but great job right there by Robertson that recognizing they have nothing offensively, set up the offense, try to get a good shot.
Here's Howard, the leading scorer for the Skyhawks, and there's going to be a foul away from the ball. Haley Howard not scored in the game yet. She's averaging 14.8 points per game. That's 7th best in the OVC. We'll see if the Skyhawks can get her involved on this possession. Here's Roberts. She loses it on the deck and picked up by Jessie Ward. Here's Ward wide open for 3. Doesn't miss often, but front of the iron there. So UT Martin has not been able to find their stroke yet from behind the three-point line, 0 of 4. Here's another 3 by Murray State. That one will miss, and both teams cooling down just a little bit.
Both teams depending a lot on that outside shot, and sometimes that's tough, especially you've got to send 2 or 3 players to crash the offensive boards and try to get those second chance shots because it's tough when you rely on that 3.
Nice shot fake by Haley Howard that time, but she can't finish around the rim. Quickly, though, trying to get something in transition. They're going to say the ball tipped out on UT Martin. What a start, though, for the number 8 seed Murray State Racers. As they jump out, they lead it over the OVC number 1 seed here in the tournament, UT Martin. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more. Murray State leads it over UT Martin 11-4. Welcome back to the 2016 Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. Let's now check over with the third member of our team, Emily Proud, and see what's going on.
Well, you can tell that Murray State is playing with a lot of heart. They're looking for vengeance after their senior night was spoiled just last Saturday by the Skyhawks. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Emily, and you're exactly right. Murray State definitely showing some early signs of life here against UT Martin. And you talked about it, Brittany, open. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year, and we're starting to see that here at least early in this ball game.
It is, and I really like the energy that they're bringing. This Murray State team is, hey, it's tournament time. They said it's a whole nother ball game. What happened in the regular season doesn't matter. If they come out today and they can beat this team, and you can tell they believe that they can win.
Foul against UT Martin. That's the first of the ball game. Murray State 0 of their last 4, 2 of their last 8, but they still have a 7-point advantage. They get 0 of their last 5. Robertson leading the way. Here's Katie Schubert. Schubert been dealing with a little bit of an injury as of late. And now we're going to get a foul, I think, away from the ball against against Murray State, pushing Haley Howard down. I'm sure you've been in this situation before, Brittany, a favored team, but you really struggle out of the gate. What is it that the message usually when you're struggling early like this?
Well, and especially this UT Martin team, they've got a target on their back. They've won the conference these last couple of years, and every team, they've got to come ready to play every game because teams want to beat them, and they know that if they bring the energy, you can tell this Murray State team, they believe that they can beat this team. And so it's just they've got to pick up their energy, and offensively they're not shooting the ball well. They're 0 for 4 behind the three-point line. So get to the rim, get to the basket, and get to the free throw line. They're shooting 77% from the free throw line.
It looks like the discussion over there with head coach Rob Cross of Murray State, I was looking actually at the foul, but the shot was up and good. It was looked to be I thought a 3-point basket. That's what the officials are saying, either a 3 or a 2. It's going to be good, and the foul go against Murray State. So UT Martin will get the ball back, and that's a 5-point swing there on that possession.
That's huge play right
or excuse
there
me, a 6-point swing, because they gave them a 3 and then another 3. So back-to-back threes, a 6-point possession, and we're back to now a 1-point game.
I thought they were looking at that last shot because it was I thought maybe her toe was on the line, but you're right. They gave her a 3.
So the first 3-point basket for UT Martin comes 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the ball game. UT Martin on the year, first in the OVC as far as 3-point field goals made per game. They're averaging 10.6 per game. And in the 2 combined matchups against Murray State this year, they've hit a total of 29 threes. Here's Robertson. Thought about driving, now kicks it back out. Chance for UT Martin to take the lead on this possession. Howard driving a little out of control in the corner, no good, but nice offensive rebound and put back by Chelsea Roberts. And just like that, the great start for Murray State. Now UT Martin has taken a 12-11 lead, their first of the ball game, and there's a turnover. All the way in, Robertson capitalizes off the turnover, and the tables turn quickly, an 11-0 run for UT Martin.
And I'll tell you, Justin, how they turned is UT Martin started knocking down some shots, which allows them to set up that full court press.
Nice job, though, breaking through the press that time by UT Martin to stop the run for UT Martin. There's Jashay Lee. She will knock down a 3, so a strong answer now for Murray State. And they regain the lead. Back and forth here in the first quarter. First day of the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament. The number 1 seed UT Martin Skyhawks taking on the number 8 seed Murray State Racers. The winner of this game will get a day off tomorrow before the semifinals. Now we're going to get a foul on the floor. I believe it's going to come on the box out against Murray State.
This Murray State team, we said they had some shooters, but I'm telling you, Justin, you can't guard them at the 3-point line. You've got to get out, get a hand in their face, because they can shoot the ball way past that 3-point line.
Second offensive rebound for Chelsea Roberts there. The foul was on Abria Gullidge. Here's a 3-point attempt, up and good. Nice set play, as knocking it down is Katie Schubert. And so after some early struggles from behind the 3-point line, UT Martin now starting to heat up a little from outside. Here's another 3 on the other end, rattles around and won't drop. That time for Jasmine Borders.
You said it coming into this game. We're going to have a 3-point shootout, that's for sure. And I think that's going to be important for both teams, getting back in transition defense, getting out and guarding wide, because their guards can shoot the basketball.
Shy Copney with a post move off the bench. Won't drop, but another offensive rebound for Murray State. UT Martin with an offensive rebound. They now have 4 in the ball game. Here's Mia Taylor. Outside, Robertson will pull the trigger on a 3. This one won't drop, but another offensive rebound for the Skyhawks. Here's Mia Taylor. She can't connect, but gets her own rebound again. Finally, Taylor fouled in the act of shooting, but you can't give a team like UT Martin that many shots on goal.
You can't. Rebounding, boxing out and rebounding. But I'm going to tell you, something that UT Martin does very well is they draw, they penetrate good, get the defense in, and man, they kick it out. They see the open shooter. Very unselfish team.
So at the line now will be Mia Taylor, the freshman, averaging 9.3 points per game. She was named to the All-OVC freshman team or newcomer team this year. Free throws shooting, she's 78%, and she drains both of them.
That's actually the first free throws of the game, and that's something that whenever you have 2 teams that like to shoot the basketball outside, sometimes you don't see a lot of free throws. That's what both of these teams, I think, have to do more of, get to the basket and get fouled.
Excuse me, she knocked down 1 of 2. Here's a three on the way, side of the iron. Now an offensive rebound. This time on the other end, it's Kashunin James, and she'll have a chance for a conventional three-point play.
You can tell she's fired up. Hey, she was, again, held scoreless in their last game that they played 4 days ago. So she said, hey, that's not going to happen again. She's crashing the boards.
6'1" sophomore Kashunin James, fourth in the OVC in scoring this year at 17.8 points per game. But surprisingly, we mentioned it 4 days ago, did not score a point against this against this UT Martin team. James does make it a three-point play and back to a two-point advantage for the Racers. And now we're going to get an offensive foul with 0.3 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Murray State at this point, you're going to have to throw it near the basket and hope someone can just tip it in.
Yeah, you can't get a shot off with 0.3. You got to have a tip in. May just take the equivalent of taking a knee here and just throw it in. They will just throw it in and take the proverbial knee here to end the first quarter, but a great start. If you're looking for an upset against the #1 team, Murray State drawing up the plans to do so. They lead it after the end of the first quarter, 19-17 over the #1 seed UT Martin Skyhawks. We'll take a break, be back with second quarter action from the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament when we continue. That has not been working. The Racers knocking down another three-point shot. That is now their fifth of the ball game.
Bianca Babick already down there, gets her feet set. That's something that Murray State does a good job at. They get their guards, get their shooters down the court, and UT Martin has to match up wide. They can't drop back in this zone.
Another missed three by UT Martin. They're now 2 of 10, and on the flip side, Murray State is now 6 of 13 from behind the three-point line as that one is drained, and they have taken now an 8-point advantage. So Murray State starting out the second quarter red hot, just like they did in the first quarter from behind the three-point line. But there's Chelsea Roberts, who knocks down that three to take a little of the air out of the momentum from Murray State. That three snapped an 8-0 run by the Racers.
Again, this UT Martin team in a zone, but they've got to match up wide. I can't emphasize that enough. I think they're giving this Murray State team too many opportunities behind that three-point line.
Here's Jessie Ward. Roberts goes down low, backing in, and a nice look that time by Shai Company, the 5'11 sophomore from Johnson City, Tennessee. Really doesn't look like Murray State has anybody to match up down low against her.
And she brings such a good dynamic to this UT Martin team, down low, getting the ball in, scoring some inside. It's going to open up that outside shot for those guards at UT Martin.
Foul on the other end by the Skyhawks. It'll go up against Chelsea Roberts. That'll be her second. Official's not going to say a shooting foul, still on the floor. Nice jumper put up that time by Tori Reedy. And shooting percentage, Murray State now at 50%, 11 of 22 from the field. Obviously the concern for Murray State, three-point shooting for UT Martin, and to this point they've done an excellent job on the perimeter. Here's 6 on the shot clock. Nice look again by Kopany.
And that is just perfection at the pick and roll. A great look there. Kopany just brings a great dynamic, she does, to this UT Martin team down low, being able to feed her and finish.
And there's a tough drive by Imani Robertson that time. And you can see, though, Murray State stretches it out, but with the turnovers, UT Martin very quick getting back into it.
UT Martin makes you pay for turnovers.
Timeout on the court. That'll be a media timeout. We'll take another break. Murray State holding on to a 1-point advantage. The number 8 seed leading over the number 1 seed. You're watching the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament on the OVC Digital Network. Justin Seaman back alongside Brittany Jackson. 6:25 left to go, second quarter of this quarterfinal matchup between the number 8 seeded Murray State and the number 1 seed here, UT Martin. But UT Martin having some trouble here in the first half as the Racers have come out racing, especially shooting the ball. 11 of 22 from the field, but more importantly, 6 of 14 is Murray State from behind the three-point line, 43%.
And we talked about what would they have to do to beat this Skyhawks. Skyhawks.
Exactly.
Skyhawks team, and this is what they have to do. They've got to shoot the ball extremely well, what they've done. But, again, you can't continue to rely on that three-point shot. They've got to do what they just did, get to the basket, try to get to the free throw line.
Bria Gullidge will be going to the line looking for her first point of the ball game. And she connects. Really, first 14 minutes have been dominated with Murray State with the exception of the turnovers. When they turn the ball over, UT Martin has been able to capitalize. 8 turnovers, 11 points off those turnovers for UT Martin. Good look inside for Kopany, and right now nobody really putting up any resistance to Kopany down low for UT Martin, and so they keep feeding her.
I think a very smart move by Coach McMillan, getting Kopany in the basketball game, and she's opening up so many opportunities on the offensive end.
Turnaround shot won't drop for the Racers, and here comes UT Martin, a chance to take the lead. Here's Amani Robertson.
UT Martin has had 5 straight field goals, 6 straight field goals. And again, the lineup they have in, they've got that inside presence as well, and it's opening up shots on the outside.
4th three-pointer made, and Haley Howard gives the number 1 seed Skyhawks the lead again, 33-31. Definitely, though, more of a tournament feel, obviously, to this matchup than what you would have seen probably in the first 2 between the teams, as Murray State, understanding even though they're the 8 seed, they're 3 wins away, just like everybody else, from heading to the big dance.
It is. It's tournament time. You never know what can happen, and you can tell this Murray State team has that attitude.
Here's another 3 up and good. This one dropped by Bria Gullidge. She just got her first points from the free throw line. Now she drops a 3, the 7th three-pointer by the Racers. They are now 7 of 15 from downtown. Howard all the way in, can't get it to drop, but she'll draw the foul. Haley Howard, a 6-foot senior from Whiteland, Indiana. You look at Howard's numbers from a year ago, I'm not sure anybody was going to think she was going to come onto the scene the way she did this year, averaging under 4 points a game. And you take that to this season, named first team All-OVC.
And, you know, I think that comes a lot with senior leadership, and that's something that she's really stepped up for her team and done what a senior has to do, and especially on the offensive end, she's putting points on the board.
Connects on the next one as well, and UT Martin back to an advantage. Both teams now above 50% mark shooting in the ball game. A shootout, maybe a little bit what we expected in this one.
Exactly what we expected, and this is something, you know, both of these teams going to go in at halftime and say, hey, we cannot rely on our shooting, especially the outside. We've got to get to their basketball, rebound the basketball, because they've both done it very well this first half.
Bria Gullidge has now scored on the last 3 possessions for Murray State. A strong drive there, and back and forth we go. The Racers back on top again.
UT Martin really spreads that floor. They like to penetrate and kick, and they do a lot of movement.
That shot missed by Taylor, and here come the Racers. 1-on-2 all the way in. James going to take it herself. Can't drop it. Schubert with the rebound. Pulls it up herself, and that's a pretty stroke from Katie Schubert. 5'11" senior from Springboro, Ohio. Schubert now with 8 points in the game. There's a drive, though, all the way in again for Abria Gullidge, and really, Gullidge now has had a couple uncontested looks right at the basket.
She is not playing like a freshman.
Almost a turnover, and it is. Trying to get it into the corner to Haley Howard, and UT Martin turns it over. 7th turnover for the Skyhawks here in the first half.
UT Martin has extended their defense out to the 1-3-1. Again, trying to get out, having to contest because these Murray State shooters will let it go.
Deep three that time, and Skyhawks fortunate to grab the rebound there after Keshennon James almost had another offensive rebound, but it doesn't matter as there's going to be another turnover by UT Martin. Their 8th turnover. UT Martin only averages 12.9 per game and already 8 here in the first half. And Coach Kevin McMillan upset. He thought there was another turnover out top, thought James traveled. And you can see the frustration on his face.
James might have got away with that one. Murray State doing a good job at recognizing this defense, and they're getting those shooters in the corners.
Good look by Reedy, just wouldn't drop from 3, and so out top, though, it's going to be another turnover by UT Martin. That time it was Katie Schubert, and really just looked to be a little lazy with the basketball.
You can tell Coach McMillan very frustrated with this team right now, just like, as you mentioned, lazy turnovers. And at this point, and especially in conference play, you have to be careful. You've got to take care of the basketball.
1-3-1. Now they're really extending this pressure out, are the Skyhawks. Here's Gullidge. She stepped back 3, won't drop. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the half. And a 1-point lead for the number 8 seeded Murray State Racers. Now we're going to get a foul. It's going to be on Abria Gullidge. I believe that was away from the basketball.
Maya Taylor for UT Martin doing a good job at moving without the basketball. She's cutting hard through that lane and right there being able to force that foul.
Here's a 3 on the way. Won't drop for Haley Howard, and Keshennon James covers the glass. James, in addition to her 17.8 points per game, she averages 6 rebounds per game. That one picked away, and Racers again with another turnover. Here's a 3 on the way, won't drop, but an offensive rebound by Keshennon James. And follow the foul.
You know, I really liked James' intensity. She does not play like a freshman. She really brings a lot of energy to this Murray State team, and I love the way she's crashing those offensive boards. When that shot goes up, you see her. She's tough to keep off the boards. UT Martin has to find her early.
5th offensive rebound for this Murray State team. Keshennon James now has 6 rebounds, so she's right at her average. Both free throws up and good. And it's a 3-point advantage for the Racers. 40 points posted by Murray State here, and we still have 1:15 to go, first half.
Murray State had only 49 in their loss on the February 27th against them. So, again, they are on their way to get a win today if they continue to play the way basketball that they've started playing in this first half.
Nice shot that time by Kopeny. And that one's going to be tipped away by Kopeny. Kopany's had some good minutes off the bench. Now 8 points, 4 of 5 from the field. Here's a three on the way. Back of the iron, no good. And rebound pulled down by Jesse Ward. And that shot's going to be blocked. Big time block down low by number 13, Bria Bethea, 5'11 sophomore. And about a few tenths between the game clock and the shot clock, and Murray State can hold for the final shot pretty much of the half and have a chance to go in with the lead.
Murray State is 1 of 7 in their last shot attempt, so I think it's important right here to try to get to the basket or throw up a three, get their offensive rebound.
The three won't drop, and that'll do it for the first half. Impressive first half for the number 8 seeded Murray State Racers. They will lead it at the break over the number 1 seed UT Martin, 40-39, as the Racers 7 of 21 from behind the 3-point line. They take a 1-point advantage to the break. We'll take a break here at halftime. We'll be back with some stats before we start the second half. When we continue, you're watching the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament from the Municipal Auditorium in Nashville on the OVC Digital Network. Second half action here from Nashville, the Municipal Auditorium, home of the 2016 Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. First day action, quarterfinal matchup between the number 1 seeded UT Martin Skyhawks and the number 8 seed Murray State Racers. Amanye Robertson almost comes up with a steal to start the second half. Instead, it turns into a layup as a nice rebound or nice recovery that time as they go down low to number 30, Kyra Gullidge, the 6'2 senior.
UT Martin has to get Howard more involved, get her more shots, screen for her off the ball, try to get her open shots. She's got to have more points, only 5 points in the first half.
Kishennon James whistled for the foul against Jesse Ward. UT Martin struggled to start the ball game shooting. See how they start the second half. Here's a three on the way, and good start to the second half for Katie Schubert as she nails that three, and we're all knotted up at 42. First half, Murray State led 16 minutes and 11 seconds of the 20 minutes in the first half. UT Martin only led for a minute and a half. Here's a three now on the way. That one won't drop, and now we're going to get a foul sending us the other way.
Murray State doing a tremendous job, though, at really breaking down this UT Martin zone. They've extended it, but they're doing a good job at getting those girls in the corners, 2 shooters in the corners, and it's hard to guard. Just
for perspective, though, Murray State, 40 first half points in the previous 2 matchups. They only scored 28 and 24 points in the first half against UT Martin, and were down by double digits at halftime. Cross-court pass that time, and Murray State now working against the 1-3-1 zone. We saw UT Martin use this some in the first half. There's another deep three, and rebound pulled down by Robertson. Roberts with it in the corner on the drive all the way in. Strong move that time by the senior, Chelsea Roberts. And UT Martin takes a 2-point advantage. Foul now I believe that's going to go against Roberts. That'll be her third foul, so a big foul there for Chelsea Roberts early here in the third quarter.
And I think that's something that is going to be important for this team, this Murray State team, the second half, to get to the free throw line. They only shot 5 free throws the first half, and that is just going to add to them getting to the free throw line, getting fouled. It opens up those outside shots.
Murray State averaging almost 12 made free throws a game, as now we are tied again. We've had 11 lead changes in this ball game. I mentioned that Murray State led for most of the first half, but those final 4 minutes, a lot of lead changes between the two teams.
Howard, good penetration. Just go to the basket, try to get fouled. She's a great free throw shooter. Get to the rim.
Here's another three-point attempt by Borders. That one won't drop, and Howard covers up the board.
Howard shooting 89% from the free throw line. If I'm hurt, get to the rim, get fouled.
Now we're going to get a foul whistled against Murray State. You're right, and Howard second in the OVC conference at that 89%. So almost automatic when she does get to the free throw line. Howard working inside, trying to get open. Now 12 on the shot clock, and we're going to get an illegal screen set by Chelsea Roberts. And if that's against Roberts, who I think it is, that'll be her fourth. We haven't talked about it much, Brittany, in this game, but this UT Martin 14-2 in the OVC, but they've done it on a real limited bench. At one point this year, they only had 7 scholarship players, so have to monitor the fouls now. Roberts, will see how long she has to take a seat. Scramble for the ball, and Murray State comes out with it, the offensive rebound. Shannon James contested three, but she drains it.
Very nice ball fake right there. I like how they're overloading the sides on the offense. Give a little ball fake and she gets open for the shot. They're doing a good job at attacking that zone. 8
made three-point shot by Murray State. There's Jessie Ward, who I mentioned had a career-high 7 threes. She barely grazes the rim. And then Shannon James maybe trying to do a little too much there.
She had the right idea, but just slow down a little bit. She really attacks. I love her energy, but right there on that last possession, slow down a little bit, make a good pass. Looked like Jessie Ward might have been pressing a little bit the last shot. The sharp shooting three-point perfectionist for UT Martin has yet to record a point here in the ballgame. Here's Howard, spin move, off the glass and good. Haley Howard gets her 7th point of the ball game. And it's back to a 1-point game. And if you're going to take that quick shot, you've got to have rebounders crashing those boards. Howard grabs the board. She now has 5 rebounds to go along with those 7 points. Here's Kopeny down low. She had a great first half, 8 points, and really made it look easy on the turnaround jumper. She brings such a good presence down low because they give her the ball. She finishes well, and it's hard to guard. They can't help off of her because they got shooters on the outside. Great look inside on the cut by Shannon James. And Murray State back on top. Here's Howard. Hands off to Robertson, all the way in between a couple defenders and Robertson. She's now got 12 points, and the Skyhawks regain the lead. Skyhawks really have to talk. They've got to make sure everyone's matched up in this, even though they're in a zone defense, because all these Murray State players can shoot the basketball, so they've got to know where they are. Back and forth, first 5 minutes of the third quarter. We'll take a break. UT Martin on top by 1. You're watching the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament on the OVC Digital Network.
There's a lot of connections between a lot of these players and coaches in the OVC. A couple pretty good players in their own right on the OVC league leader UT Martin staff, as that ball is turned over. But you look, there's head coach Cross over there for UT Martin. But you look at some old faces, new roles. The program's all-time leading scorer duo of Heather Butler and Jasmine Newsome for UT Martin. They are both now on the coaching staff for this UT Martin team. Heather Butler, the only player in the OVC history to make a roster on the WNBA, as she is now an assistant coach under Coach Kevin McMillan, as we see the look over there at Heather Butler. So you're right.
Good, Justin, to have players, especially that have been through the system, that know the system, and have been there. They can help these players that they listen to because they know they've been in their shoes.
15 lead changes here in this ball game as the Skyhawks with a 1-point advantage. Here's a three on the way. That one will be good as Bianca Babick, her second three of the ball game. She now has 6.
I love watching Babick. I see her. She gets over there. She gets in that corner, tries to hide from that defense, and she gets her feet set. When she gets the basketball, she knocks it down.
Another three-pointer on the way. This one won't drop. That time for for Leasia Wright. But a turnover by UT Martin all the way coast to coast. Jasmine Borders.
That's what Murray State has to do. They're 3 of 13 in their last three-point attempts, so they've got to get to the basket, try to get easy shots.
And the faithful from Murray, Kentucky that have made their way down are starting to get a little excited until that bucket dropped by the Skyhawks. Back to a 2-point game. 15 lead changes, as I mentioned, in this game so far. Here's Kashunin James. Plenty of time to set her feet. Nobody within a zip code of her, and she drains it.
Imani Roberts having to work so hard up there in that zone defense. She's having to run from side to side, and Murray State taking advantage of that.
Here's Robertson trying to work on a big ball screen out top by Copany, who she's going to pull the trigger herself. And what a big-time bench production player she's been coming off the bench, especially with Roberts, who had to take a seat with those 4 fouls. She's now got 13 points here in this ball game. She's 5 above her average.
And that's what you have to have, players like Copany that come in off the bench, especially when your star player like Howard's not putting up the points that you need her to. Other players have to step up.
What a shot by Kashunin James there. Banked that one home. Both teams shooting at high percentages, and that's the 11th three-point shot made by Murray State.
Coach Cross has to be so excited about the years to come with James. She is only a freshman. I love her energy. She has so much confidence, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, James actually a sophomore this year, but she was OVC Freshman of the Year last year. But you're right, still 2 more years to go with Kashunin James, averaged 17.8 points per game this year. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Forced a shot up, no good that time by Katie Schubert. Chance for the Racers to stretch out this 5-point advantage. They led by 1 at the halftime break. That 3 won't drop, and that's going to be James whistled for the foul.
Got to be careful if you're James. Your team needs you on the court. Doesn't want to get in foul trouble.
Kashunin James will take a seat. That's her 3rd foul. She's got 19 points to lead all scorers right now in the game. And you're right, Coach Cross probably going to sit her down for the rest of the quarter, try to calm her down, make sure she's ready to go for the 4th. The number 8 seed Racers trying to pull the big upset against the number 1 seeded UT Martin Skyhawks. Here's Howard. Big time shot from the senior, Haley Howard in the corner.
That's what the Racers cannot do. They can't let her get hot because they know if Howard gets hot, she can really be a game changer.
Three on the clock. Driving in, stolen away, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Nice defensive stop by UT Martin. Murray State leads it by 2. We've got one more quarter to play from Nashville. Quarterfinal action. The number 8 seed, Murray State Racers, looking for the big upset. They lead it over the number 1 seed, UT Martin, 60-58. You're watching the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament on the OVC Digital Network. Here's Howard. All the way in. Howard, tough shot, runner off the glass. And Robertson, strong rebound, but it won't drop on the putback.
UT Martin has 28 points in the paint. That's something that they're going to have to continue to do. Their shots don't fall this fourth quarter. Get rebounds, get second chance opportunities.
16 points, though, for Murray State off of 12 UT Martin turnovers, but there's a turnover, and all the way goes Robertson back, and she ties the game for UT Martin. That's now 15 points off turnovers for UT Martin as they've taken advantage of 15 Murray State turnovers. Missed shot there. UT Martin a chance to take the lead.
Very important for UT Martin to set their offense, use good screens, and get Howard open. They took it out of my mouth. She's got to score, get her the basketball.
Nifty backdoor cut that time in the middle of the paint by Haley Howard, and a lead for the Skyhawks. Good ball movement all the way in. Around the horn goes Murray State, and Jasmine Borders finishes it off.
And Murray State, great ball reversal. They're making UT Martin play from side to side. They guard them the entire court, and they're getting great shots.
Here's Maya Taylor. She's been pretty quiet in the second half. Taylor all the way in, strong move, and she'll draw the foul.
UT Martin only been to the line 4 times, and that's something that, again, in tournament play, you've got to get to the free throw line and knock them down.
UT Martin first in the conference as a team shooting from the free throw line, 77.8%. Maya Taylor, almost a 79% free throw shooter. But she misses on the first.
Chelsea Roberts returns for the Bucks.
Collects herself for the second, and the Skyhawks lead again. Breaks the 9th tie in this ball game, so now the Skyhawks with the advantage again. The largest lead for UT Martin has only been 2 points in this game, and they won't have the lead for long as Abria Gullidge, the 6-foot freshman, gets that bucket down low. Strong rebound there by Jashay Lee. One shot on goal that time for UT Martin, and now Murray State a chance to extend.
Talk about extend, this Murray State team extending this zone, making UT Martin come out, and it's really opening up shots on the inside, penetration.
Missed there, and big time board that time by Shai Kopany. Here's Robertson. She turns it over all the way, coast to coast. bucket is good for Jasmine Borders. Second time Borders has had the steal, leading to immediate points, and Murray State back up by 3.
We said it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row, and they've proved that here today. Just the energy, they continue to have the energy on both ends of the floor. And what I've been so impressed with this Murray State team is offensively. They've not only knocked down shots, but they've worked hard to get good shots.
Murray State off the turnover, the bucket for Borders. Murray State making their first return to the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament since 2013. Have got a chance, 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go, to upset the number 1 seed UT Martin. Still plenty of time to go, but this would be a monumental upset to start the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament. And there's a 3 put up and good by LaAsia Wright. The 12th made 3 by Murray State. Here's Howard. Jesse Ward has not got uncorked in this ball game. Still scoreless. Long rebound pulled down that time by Lee.
And again, Murray State giving UT Martin one opportunity to score. That's something that has really hurt them, especially here in the second half. Their shots aren't falling like they did the first. Get in, get those rebounds.
And Babick drains another 3, and Murray State matches their largest lead of the game at 9. Roberts, she misses on a 3. And with 4:51 to go, Murray State gonna slow things down with a 9-point lead.
For Murray State, you want to use this shot clock. Take some time off the clock.
What a shot that time by number 42, Jashay Lee, and the largest lead of the game for Murray State, 11, until Roberts quickly on the other end gets it back down to 9.
And that's what they've got to do. They've got to get steals. You almost wonder why they took the full court press off earlier in the game, but they've got to bring that full court press, get steals, and knock down shots.
And finally, Jesse Ward able to connect on a 3, and it's back to a 6-point game. And you're right, the turnover, UT Martin trying to get some momentum back. Here's another 3 up, no good. James goes sky high and is pulled down, looked like by Howard, but we'll see if they go and call the whistle on Copany, and Kishennon James is still on the deck.
If you're Murray State right here, not sure this is the shot you want. 23 seconds on the shot clock. You want to hold it, wait, take some time, use the shot clock, get down. You want to get a good shot. You don't want to take a quick shot. You're up right now. But again, right here, you just hope that
they whistled the foul on Shy Copany, but it looked like the brunt of that came from the hand of Haley Howard. Kind of scraped the face of Kishennon James. Coach Rob Cross out on the floor. His leading scorer on the season and in this ball game on the floor now. Kishennon James, 19 points, 7 of 11 from the field. But right now the concern is off of after that hit. The good thing is a lot of times, Brittany, when you see that, you'll see the head hit the floor. It didn't happen there, so you're hoping that it's nothing with any kind of a head injury.
Absolutely, that's what I was looking for. You didn't see her head. Sometimes it's bouncing off the court, and hopefully she can, for this Murray State team, walk it off, and it won't be anything too bad, and get back on the court. She's been a huge asset to this team today, the energy especially that she has brought for this team, and she's definitely had something to prove.
Yeah, and how about head coach Rob Cross over there? He helps her off. We'll take a timeout, 3:53 to go. Stay with us. Upset potentially in the brewing. The number 8 seed, Murray State, leads it over UT Martin. This is the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament on the OVC Digital Network. But you're right. with a 6-point game. Murray State trying to pull the huge upset. The number 8 seed trying to get a big win over the number 1 seed UT Martin Skyhawks. Here's Gullidge. Step back 3. She drains it.
And what this Murray State team has done offensively has been just immaculate. I mean, they have worked the ball around. In their loss a couple days ago against this UT Martin team, only 1 player in double figures. Today they have 4 already, looking to be almost 5, and they've just moved the basketball, getting great shots.
Haley Howard answers quickly. The senior doesn't want this to be her last game. She'll grab the rebound there. How good has Howard been? 17 points, now 7 rebounds. Here's Howard, deep 3, front of the iron, no good, and Murray State just does get the rebound. Here's Abria Gullidge. 2:40 left to go. 6-point Murray State lead. They've led by as many as 11. 10-footer won't drop. Big possession here for the Skyhawks.
It's important for these last 2.5 minutes for the Skyhawks to get good shots, knock them down, try to even get to the free throw line, shooting a great percentage from the line, and then defensively get stops.
Here's Howard, double teamed. Here's Copany from the corner. Yes! Shy Copany, what an afternoon she's had off the bench, and now a turnover by Murray State. So just when you think Murray State ready to run away with this one and get the big upset, a chance now with the 3 for UT Martin to tie it up. Big time shot by Copany there. Copany now with 13 points, 6 of 9 from the field. Here's Howard. She's thinking about a 3. Gets it to Copany, one-on-one all the way in. That's a tough matchup for Babbitt.
Copany has been huge off the bench for UT Martin. She's really stepped up.
Here's James back in the game after that scary fall. She can't get it to drop. So the good news for Murray State is James is back in the game. Bad news for Murray State. UT Martin now a chance to regain the lead. They trail by 1. Howard. Copany, can she make it back-to-back? James grabs the rebound.
Very important possession right here for Murray State offensively. They've got to do what they did this entire game. Work the ball around. They don't want to slow it up too much. They want to work it around, reverse the basketball, and get a good shot.
Now we're going to get a timeout called by Murray State. Head coach Rob Cross will take it, and we'll take it as well. Murray State, the number 8 seed, trying to hold on with a big upset over UT Martin. They lead it by 1. You're watching the 2016 OVC Conference Tournament on the OVC Digital Network. A foul away from the ball, I think, against Haley Howard. So that's going to give a fresh 30 now to Murray State.
Howard not happy with that call, trying to explain herself to the referee that Babbitt kind of bumped into her, I think maybe cutting through. But again, you're right, new fresh shot clock.
Here's Babbitt. Leasia Wright will bleed the shot clock as much as she can here with the 1-point advantage. 30 seconds left, 10 on the shot clock. Here's Babbitt, now back to Wright. Babbitt, she wants to pull the trigger, she does. The lefty can't get it. Kishannon James, though, was underneath the basket, got the rebound, and the putback and's fouled.
Huge rebound, and that's not her first for this game. She's had some really big offensive rebounds this entire ball game and stepped up again on the offensive boards.
Kishannon James will go to the line where she is a 68% free throw shooter, 102 of 150 on the year, and she calmly drains the first. Murray State now 8 of 8 from the line. We have been working with our research and development team to find out, has a number 8 seed ever defeated a number 1 seed in the OVC Conference Tournament? And folks, it has never happened in the history of the OVC Conference Tournament. Murray State will have a 2-point lead with 16 seconds to go. Here's Robertson. Down to 10. Gets it over to Ward. Ward to Howard, now with 3. Robertson's got to do something. They're going to pull a 3, no good, and Murray State, the number 8 seed, for the first time in OVC history, has defeated the number 1 seed, UT Martin, 78-76.
And you have to give them credit where credit's due. They came out from the beginning of this game with the attitude that they knew they could win, and that's how they pulled this upset.
So head coach Rob Cross brings his Murray State Racers team back to the OVC tournament for the first time since 2013. And they win against the number 1 seed, the reigning OVC champs, the UT Martin Skyhawks. What a victory for this Murray State team. The 2 previous meetings this year, Murray State had lost to UT Martin by a combined 39 points, and they win it this afternoon by 2. Stay with us. We're going to have head coach Rob Cross join us here courtside to discuss this one.
The Murray State Racers will take on the winner of the Eastern Kentucky versus Austin Peay game in the OVC.
So history in the making. History in the making. I'm joined now, Justin Seaman, alongside head coach of the Murray State Racers, Rob Cross. And first of all, what were you thinking when that 3-point shot went off the rim?
Well, I'll tell you what I was thinking is why did Jasmine Borders help on the penetration? Because they're a phenomenal team, without question the best team in our league this year. You know, and the thing, our message has been the whole week, you know, the greatest thing about tournaments is the best team doesn't always win. And we just had to be the best team today to get an opportunity on Friday.
Well, talk about this game wasn't won and lost in the final minute. There was things you did in the first half that I think really propelled your team to put you in a position to be able to win this.
Right.
Just talk about that first half, especially in light of what you saw the previous 2 matchups where you really struggled, especially in the first quarter.
Well, you know, previous 2 matchups were 2 different stories. The first one we played them, we turned it over 26 times, 38-2 points off turnovers, and we get beat by 30. Second time we played them, we did a better job taking care of the ball, but we didn't defend the 3-point line at all. Jessie Ward hit 7 threes. I think she hit 5 in the first 10 minutes. So we didn't do a good job with what we were supposed to do. Was very disappointed. That was on our senior night. And then start watching film, and it's like, hey, we did a good job. If we can just be 2 steps closer, 1 step closer here and there, the game plan is the right game plan. And then, you know, we shot 27% that second time we played them, and you've got to make shots against this team because they're going to score no matter what you do defensively.
We'll talk a little bit about your floor general, Kishannon James. She goes down late in the ball game, gets knocked to the deck, comes back in, though, and probably has the play of the game getting that offensive rebound.
Big offensive rebound, I tell you. She's extremely tough. I don't throw around the word warrior because my father was in the Marine Corps for 25 years. But, you know, talk about somebody that plays extremely hard, and she can do everything. She passes the ball for us. She handles it. She does a little bit of everything, scores and rebounds. And she has the potential to be, you know, one of the best mid-major players in the country as long as she's playing with confidence and stays focused and in tune with what we're trying to do. And, boy, she took a bad spill, was very worried, you know, initially. And then once she got over the initial impact, she was fine. And I'm glad they grabbed me because I wasn't going back with her, and they grabbed me right there. My assistants grabbed me and said, hey, Coach, KJ's ready to go. And then she comes in and makes a play like that on the offensive rebound and has the presence of mind with 1 second on the shot clock to flip up the reverse and draw the foul.
Well, historic win for Murray State. First time in OVC history a number 8 seed is beaten a number 1 seed. Congratulations. Go celebrate this one now with your team, and now you've got a day off, and then you'll see who you play later on. Congratulations, head coach, Murray State, Rob Cross.